Netflix has created yet another binge-worthy show. This one is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I spent a good chunk of this weekend actually watching all the episodes of season one, all 13 episodes. Really fell in love with the show, which should have come as no surprise for me. Love Tina Fey, 30 Rock, one of my favorite shows. So coming off the high, huge success of that, she pretty much could do anything. And apparently this show was supposed to be for NBC, just as 30 Rock was, but I guess they didn't quite feel it was a fit or whatever. But it's made its way to Netflix, where many extremely worthy shows have found their way. So, I mean, definitely all the better that someone like me can binge watch the whole thing, so someone can devote a whole weekend to it. So this is my general opinion on this show, my general thoughts. I'm not going to go into too much spoiler territory, give away like major plot points or anything like that. I'm going to keep it pretty general, just because I don't want to give away too much, especially some of the cameo appearances in the show, which are pretty good. So yeah, just give you an idea of the plot. It is about Kimmy Schmidt, the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She's on a train. She's on a trip somewhere. There's a horrible train crash. She's the only one who survives. And so it's her dealing with this supposed invincibility, being unbreakable. So a lot of Shyamalan influence. No, I'm just kidding. But actually, the real premise of the show is probably stranger than that, actually. The mole women, they call them, this underground cult of four women. One is Kimmy Schmidt. They're rescued by a SWAT team. They've been under there for years and years and years. Kind of coaxed, kidnapped by a charismatic cult leader, thinking that the apocalypse is going to come, so they have to stay in that bunker. The whole world is done for, and to go outside would mean instant death, stuff like that. So they find out the truth, and it's about Kimmy Schmidt, played by Ellie Kemper, moving to New York and starting her life anew, basically, which is a pretty good premise, I think. And it's about her just trying to make it, and it is one of those shows, right? One of those let's make it in New York City kind of shows, which is pretty good. We've seen this kind of show like a million times. The wacky roommate, the wacky landlord. This one kind of throws all of that together with the rich employer, played by Jane Krakowski, also from 30 Rock, playing a great role, like playing what she does best. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like another one of those kind of like high-end snobbish kind of characters, which she's great. And Carol Kane as the landlord, she's great. And I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I'm kind of thinking she reminds me a lot of the one episode of 30 Rock with Carrie Fisher, where Tina Fey, Liz Lemon, almost forgot her name, she befriends this kind of author who turns out to be this totally sketchy lady. So it almost seems like maybe it was originally written for Carrie Fisher, but then I don't know, she's going to be busy starring in like the biggest movie of the year, but whatever. But I don't know, I kind of sense that maybe it was kind of supposed to be her. But anyway, the huge revelation of this show has to be Titus Burgess, I believe his name is, playing the black gay roommate, who's an actor, struggling actor, of course, as we see in a lot of these New York sitcoms. Never heard of this guy before, but he's fucking hilarious on this show. So funny, really like effeminate, but in such an over the top way that it just kills me. He's so great in this show, and the chemistry between him and Ellie Kemper is just so great. And really, I mean, it is all kind of about Ellie Kemper. She's been around for a while now, always kind of doing these supporting roles. Like, she kind of came into The Office, one of my favorite shows too, The Office, and I love her character. But she kind of came in like maybe like halfway through the show, so it was never really her show. Had supporting roles and like things like off the top of my head, Bridesmaids, Bad Teacher. I think she was in 21 Jump Street too. So just all these supporting roles. So for finally her to get like a lead role, that's kind of a big deal. And she is absolutely well suited for this role as Ellie Schmidt. Uh, and the thing is, I mean, she has this whatever persona she's developed. I don't know how much of her is in these kind of roles that she does, but kind of this innocent, kind of country dumb kind of person, a small town kind of person, kind of naive. Which suits this role well because it's not like a fish out of water kind of show. I mean, it sort of is. Like, they have like a little bit of, she uses like 90s expressions because she's been in there since the 90s, but nothing like so over the top. One funny part, she's like, put down that Game Boy. Meanwhile, it's a phone. But anyway, I think she's absolutely perfect for this role. It's great that she, finally got a lead role that's just for her. And, I think she's absolutely well suited for it. And the whole cast is really great. Jane Krakowski, always fantastic. Just, one step further from Jenna Malone, who she plays on 30 Rock, so that same kind of character. And a lot of great cameos here and there, too. So I won't give them away, but there's I'll if you haven't watched it, I'll give you kind of a heads up. There's a plastic surgeon in the show. There's an acting coach in the show. And I guess I'll spill the beans here, but Tina Fey, obviously, she makes an appearance, and she's really funny in her role. And I guess if I want to spill the beans a little bit more, I was kind of thinking maybe that, because they kind of keep it a secret, that the cult leader, he's like an integral part of the plot, like he shows up kind of here and there, and we don't actually see them until I think the last 3 episodes or so. They don't reveal him until then. I thought maybe that might have been suited for Alec Baldwin, because he's from 30 Rock, so that'd be good suit. It's not. I'll tell you that much. But who they get for it, absolutely perfect. He's so good. So this charismatic cult leader kind of guy, so smug, so over the top, so funny. Absolutely perfect. So he nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So I mean, it's a great show. Definitely. I mean, God, I've seen the whole first season over a weekend. I don't know when the next season will come, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Just such a. It's a weird kind of. It is a weird premise. It really is. Like, I mean, this mole woman basically hiding in plain sight in New York. Trying to make it in New York City. So it is kind of like sort of a send-off of that kind of type of sitcom, like the Make It in the Big City kind of sitcom, but with a kind of unique edge to it, I guess you could say. It takes just a little tiny bit of warm-up time. Like the first episode, I'd say not the strongest. Like they kind of get the whole main plot out of the way, and there's this whole part with the bystander talking to the news crew. They turn it into one of those auto-tune songs, which I was kind of rolling my eyes at that at first, because that was like maybe 3 years ago. You'd always see a TV show resort to that in the plot. Like there was always like some kind of plot where someone would do something embarrassing, someone would catch it on their camera phone, they'd auto-tune it, become a YouTube sensation, and that'd be like the plot of the show. So I was kind of sick of that, but it turns out that's the theme song for the show. That's what becomes, and then it gets stuck in your head, and it's so good. Unbreakable, so good. And that's just kind of another thing too, like kind of keep it in your head that she is this known person, kind of minor celebrity, so she's all the more worried about being exposed. Like, she doesn't want that. She just wants to live as a normal person, which it's nice. She's a sweet, good-hearted character, but very funny. And they have stuff with her trying to do relationships. There's one really funny gag, which I won't give away, but there's a misunderstanding over the phone, which they kind of reveal a little bit later. It does have a similar kind of a satirical twistiness that 30 Rock has, and very satirical kind of stuff. Tina Fey seems to be obsessed with werewolf gags, which there's a good one here, and they really sock it to Febreze. They do these. You remember those commercials? They don't show them anymore, but like where they have. Well, no, I won't give it away, but they really kind of sock it to Febreze, and it's about damn time someone stood up to Febreze. So yeah, what else can you say? So Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, loved it. Such a great show. The patented Tina Fey kind of humor, with a great cast, sharp writing, very binge worthy. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely give it a chance. You won't regret it. I loved it, and I eagerly await season 2. So that's my review. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Did you see the show? What'd you think? Until then, until next time, I should say. I'll see you later.